All right. Hello, everyone. And it's June. It's June. Oh my gosh. It's August.
Your
And
birthday
August,
month.
August 19th. I'm 61 now. I can't remember what month it is. Um, August, and we're going to talk about Gap in the Gain, chapter 2, because I think there's so much to cover in just chapter 2 alone that affects our jobs, affects us hugely. And then we can talk about the calendar a little bit, the step challenge, just make sure you guys are up to snuff on that. Convention. Kelly, if you wanted to do a 5-minute little blurb of your takeaways from your fun growth experience that you had, you can too, but that wasn't planned, so I hate to put it on you.
I'm
But
actually going to do that next week.
oh, you are okay.
Yeah.
It looked fun. Looked fun.
It
So
was amazing.
yeah. So we'll say a quick prayer, okay, before we start. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing these beautiful women together again to just pour into ourselves, to learn about our own um, fears that we have and what holds us back from really being our best selves and how to serve others well and to share the opportunity with anybody who is willing to take a look at it and not to give up on them. I mean, look at how we heard a story tonight, how, we had to keep convincing someone that it was going to work, our products. We have such a blessing with our products, with our business plan, and just the community that we've put together, that has come together. We work so well together and just have become so close, and just bless everybody in their personal lives and in their business, and pray that people are open to what we have to share and just being friends with us. So in Jesus' name, amen. Okay, Gap in the Gain, chapter 2. There's so many takeaways in this for me. I don't use the term be self-determined as the chapter title, and to define, what that means and how you get there. What maybe put in the chat what comes to mind when you think of somebody who's self-determined. I think of like Olympic athletes or entrepreneurs, somebody who's patented products, just successful people, of course, but also self-determined, and women who, are busy moms and just juggling everything, single moms, making it work, busy, all of us, our jobs too, with, helping on the farm, having multiple businesses, to be self-determined. Yeah, I just thought, I hadn't really ever used that term that much. And now I'm thinking it's gonna be my new buzzword, you guys. And how to be self-determined. You have to really be intrinsically motivated and not look at external things, because when we look at external comparisons, trying to achieve something because of a thing, not from what's within our soul, it puts us in the gap. And they gave an example of a gal. She was a senior, getting ready to graduate from high school, and she really was losing sleep at night because she wanted to be accepted into this good school. So she was really in the gap, in that fear. And sometimes, I think we all can kind of measure that. I think, was it last month? I messaged Kelly Carlstead at the end of the month. I get that way when I haven't met the incentives at the end of the month. And I'm like, I want my 4, I want that Ninja Creamy. Who can I sign up? Maybe my brother will sign up, and that that's in the gap. It really, and I just thought, for dumb, like, just chill, but it's that fear that's motivating you, right? So when you can recognize it, that's what's so amazing about reading personal growth books, is recognizing your own limitations and fears, and also the people you're helping, and helping them push through it and rise above it. So, and when they compared, public education that really breeds, success, compliance, and kind of that grade, right? Or valedictorian, or, and talked about how, teaching kids to sit in straight rows, obey the rules. It really is conforming them to be workers, not creators, not entrepreneurs. And I think our school, I have to stand up for teachers a little bit. Not all teachers teach that way anymore. We have preferential seating where brain breaks. So it's not what it exactly used to be, but I think there might still be some typical sit in a row, raise your hand to speak, not a lot of collaboration, but I think schools have come a long way that way, but they were invented to hold people back, to keep people in the gap. Okay. And that's why homeschooling is so popular now, because it has more collaboration and people working on their strengths and moving forward from there, not, so they talked about how, one thing that really, I'm kind of jumping over there, but the external reference points, you want to be, the reference points that you want is just yourself. Like if we think, oh gosh, I'm just not doing well in this plexus, measure like where you started, like what have you learned? And if your health is improved, that's a success. Like if you've helped one person, that's a success. So just remembering to have joy in the journey. So I don't know if you guys did on page 34 where it had you, you know, write down what are the reference points you measure yourself against, just an example. And why do you choose those particular reference points? How do you define and measure success for yourself? Something I still struggle with, this is with my own personal body image, is, that, I need to weigh a certain weight to feel good. And that's something I always work on. I think it's been my whole life. So I think we all kind of struggle with that comparison of body image. So just recognizing that though, and always trying to shift your mindset and loving where you're at and just focusing on the actions and the habits, which we talk about that a lot. That's why we're doing a stepping challenge coming up, you guys. It helps me motivate myself. Does it help you guys? I think it helps a lot of people and it's kind of fun. So, to become self-determined, there's a theory with it. A crucial aspect of motivation and thriving is autonomy. The more independence and ownership you take of yourself, for yourself, your circumstances in your life, the more self-determined you will be. So that's when you've made yourself that reference points, like I was talking about, rather than measuring yourself to something external. Okay, so being self-determined means that you've decided what success means to you, and you don't need anyone else's permission for what you want for yourself. You don't need to apologize for what you want. It means you're clear on why you want to do what you do. It means you're no longer competing with anyone else. Being in the gain leads to self-determination. So becoming self-determined is very difficult in our society, and the noise and distractions are out there everywhere. Commercials, you pick up a magazine, and of course, you know what I'm going to say next, social media, right? We didn't grow up with social media, thank goodness. And I often say, I think everyone should just go back to no social media, but then we would really lose connection, because, it is part of our being connected nowadays. But you can, beyond the conditioning of external comparisons and competing, it's designed really to addict and control us. So we're the consumer, we're the, person that are the guinea pigs kind of, and we are sucked in, right? So social media is largely designed to put us in the gap. It's designed to create unhealthy needs around being accepted and liked. It creates, FOMO, it can create FOMO. So one thing to do with that, I guess, is just to really put limits. We talk about that, blocking time. No, don't follow people if you feel like it's making you feel less than, or you keep comparing yourself to somebody. Follow those that are uplifting. Because if without social media, we probably wouldn't have as many customers as we have, right? So it's such a benefit, but in our society right now, it really is more of the connector for a lot of the younger people, especially because that's all they really grew up with. And that's where I'm throwing in stuff about what we do with our job, having real in-person events, calling people on the phone, having Zooms like we're doing is more beneficial for yourself, for your own self-esteem and being self-determined, because you're going to feel more connected with your team, with the people you're helping. So the quote on page 37, I kind of started because we've created a world in which online connection has become primary, especially for younger generations. And yet in that world, anytime two people connect, the only way it's financed is through a sneaky third person who's paying to manipulate these two people, which is kind of in the negative sense of social media. Social media can be really positive too, but so, but that's where just making sure you're, like I said, watching things that are something that align with your beliefs and are going to help keep you in the game. So as I read through this, and they talked also about, measuring any form of social comparison puts you in the gap. Like I said, measuring yourself against someone else puts you also in the gap. And that's what I love about Plexus is it's not a comparison, right? It's all empowering and working together. When you're in the gap, you lose your identity. That's like thinking about copy and pasting. We all have done it, right? But what we really need to do on social media is be us. Like there's only one of us, and that's going to connect with more people. So you're in the game when you're sharing your story. I mean, have you ever had somebody share their story and not feel good about it? There's always somebody it's part of a personal growth journey when you can talk about yourself, and something you've overcome, whether health or anything. So that's with our coaching calls, when we have them, that's measuring your gains. Like, what is your gain? What went well last month? What are you going to work on this month? Okay, what do you need help with? I think how we have our coaching set up is in the gain. It's not in the gap. It's not, focusing on what you didn't do. It's what wins you had and what's working and what you can do to stay in the gain. I think too, like our IPA that we're sharing in our, working chat or morning rounds, it's praying, having a routine, and also connecting with others, inviting people in. And that's all in the gain. Now, if I said each day, I'm a sapphire in this company, and I want all of you have to get 3 customers this week. Would that put you guys in the gap or the gain?
Yeah.
Gap, yes. So, that kind of dictatorship, and none of us are that way. So, on page 42, they had a list of questions that a guy used when he was, he was in the gap. What was his story again, beginning? Can't remember exactly what he did, but he had a list of 10 questions to recognize how he was going to measure if he was successful or not. So at the end of the day, I can wake up every day and ask, what would I like to do today? My passive revenue exceeds my lifestyle needs. So this is where he's just, when he can answer these questions, or when he can live in these statements, that means he's in the gain. There are no whiny people in my life. I like that one. You know, if you hang around people that love to talk about people, you're going to talk about people, right? That puts us in the gap again. So, so when you think about, like, I know I'm successful when, you know, I've had this discussion with my husband quite a few times, like, what is success? When will I feel like there's enough success? And everyone defines that differently, but I think it depends on where you're at. For me, years ago, it would have been finishing college, getting a job. You know, one thing, you know, when I got a divorce, that's something I didn't have as a goal. You know, that was, you know, that was a time where you're in the gap, but you have to figure out how to be in the gain to overcome things. Same with, you know, Plexus, you know, doing this, I'd never done it before, but to just learn how to do it as you go. Does that put you in the gap or the gain? What do you guys think? Good night, Lisa. Since you've done Plexus, can you guys share? Do you think it's put you in the gap or the gain, or both? You want to share?
I think in the beginning, I felt stuck in a gap because you look up to so many of you phenomenal women, and we see that you're ranked really high, and then you get in that comparison mind because you're not at the mindset that you guys had to grow to yet. And I felt really stuck in the beginning, and now I feel like it's a gain because you learn to realize that it's never competitive. It's always being able to lean in on you guys for wisdom and figure out each other's strengths so we can build together. And I mean, you conquer, you get to conquer these milestones that you never thought. Like, I didn't think I was ever going to get to silver. And then I got there and I was like, okay, well, then if I can do that, I can go for gold. And when I get there, I know that I can, just keep going up because it's showing up. You guys do these calls, and they're not here just to let you guys speak all night. It's so we can take in information and use it to our knowledge for the following week until we meet with you guys again. And I think that's just like incredible.
Thank you. Yes. So you've really overcome that gap thinking just because
Mhm.
you've grown, and now you look back, you can recognize it. That's a huge win. A lot of people go through their whole life and are closed off to so many things and stay in the gap, you know. And I love, last week we talked about how, if I was raising my kids, I would want to teach them, or if I was teaching students, definitely, like, are you in the gap or the gain? Just the concept, because it's a life skill. I loved the example they gave about the British rowing team that had never won a gold medal.
Mhm.
The Brit since 1912, and they decided to have one question they had to ask themselves no matter what they did preparing for the Olympics, and it was, will it make the boat go faster? So say they got invited to a party and individually, they had to say, will this make the boat go faster? You know, to be self-determined, to make choices that are going to keep them healthier. And anyway, they ended up winning the gold. And that was the only rule that their coach changed for them in their whole life. They, you know, everything they did, that was the one question he wanted them to ask themselves. And I just thought that was really good. So
And just a couple nights ago, I did a scary thing and I was bawling in bed with Sal. And he just kind of held me. And so I chose to cut off a bunch of people in my life, and just kind of start new because a lot of the people that are my age or a little older than me decide that going out on the weekend and getting drunk and partying and waking up with hangovers and all that is super fun every weekend. And I told Sal, like, this right here, this is my fun. I like being home, you know, at least by 7, 8 p.m. so I can wind down, get the kids to bed. I can, you know, either drink my Restore or a glass of wine, depending on how I'm feeling that night. Um, and just knit and enjoy the loved ones in my home and know that we're all safe and I'm accountable for how my children are going to grow up. And if they see mommy out every weekend or they're with random sitters because mommy needs to figure herself out, what is that really teaching my kids?
and
So
what you
I
just
told him
shared,
that.
that's a great post. And you could host a class making these booty. I mean, you could teach people how to do that. You know, that's what you're going through. Your story is powerful, and you're going to probably find people through that feel the same way as you. And that's what this journey is, you guys, is finding those that can connect with you, relate to you. So that's awesome that you
I've gotten a
feel
lot of
bad that
ugly
you lost.
messages,
Huh?
but I've gotten a lot of ugly messages, but I'm just kind of rolling through it. And Sal was like, this is going to happen. They want you to say something negative back. And guess what? You don't have to put your energy.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially toxic people don't like it if you have boundaries. Yeah.
Hmm.
Might be a night at Kelly's. Oh yeah, showing us your hobby, Bree. Or even, yeah, in Caring in Crookston, even doing it there, you know. But either you can do it at Kelly's too, but if you don't want to drive, but yeah, I would want to learn how, I love learning that kind of stuff. So
Well, and who doesn't have, you know, littles in their family? It's always in addition to your
yes,
family.
baby gifts. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I know. Anyone else? I didn't let anyone else share, I guess. Shannon, do you have anything that you want to share, like gap and gain thinking that you've grown?
So I might be kind of back or off track a little bit, but yes, when I get into the gap, and like Bree said, you know, oh my gosh, you know, these young gals are flying right by me, or it's gonna take me forever to get to where Marla's at. I have to just keep reminding myself. I love wherever it started, the phrase of, yeah, but look where you've come. Look how far you've come to, because it's easy to get stuck in that I've been here forever. Poor me. to yeah, gotta keep in mind
It's,
all the
I'd say, easier to get in the gap than it is to get in the game. The popularity is to get in the gap. That's why do you think most people like to complain about their life rather than fix it? You know, that
right.
they're in the gap. They, you know, they don't realize they're in control of it. I really think 20% of people want to be in the game or grow to be in the game, and 80% of our society stays in the gap.
I read somewhere, I don't know, a couple months ago, maybe it was on one of these trainings, I don't even remember, but it was the bottom line was training your brain, to think positive thoughts, or just retraining your brain on things,
Yep. And
And-
that's
Powerful.
right. I
Very
mean, I think about you, Shannon. You created your business. So you were definitely in the gain when you did that, right? You're a gain thinker. So just think about how much you've done with that. No, there isn't very many people that do what you do.
Well, they're not as crazy. That's probably why.
No,
'Cause
they're not as brave and just a forward thinker. Yeah, so it's
a lot of fear comes with that, but sometimes fear is good. And
there is good.
and then right there, an example, switching it over. Okay, yep, this is scary, but use that to move it,
Yep.
move along, So
Definitely. And it used to scare me to do Zooms, to just like even they still do sometimes, but or just talking to people intentionally. At first, that was really hard for me because I didn't think that they would think I was trying to sell to them, but I have learned people want to talk. People
Mhm.
want to get on Zooms. I have a gal that's been ghosting me for a long time. She was going to be a product tester for Restore. She has not talked. Finally today, I said, hey, I'm thinking about you. I really want to catch up, but let's also look at your products and I want to find out where you're at or if you need help. She did answer. And so, just don't give up. Everyone's busy. Everyone wants
Yeah.
to know you're thinking of them. Now it's
Yeah.
different if you're saying, hey, there's a sale tonight or today, if you're only contacting them for selling, that's not being in the gain in a relationship, right? So that's why I love that we have all these events. We can send this recording from tonight or post it in our stories and say, hey, if you ever quit Plexus, you got to meet Nancy. If Nancy's okay with it, I suppose we should ask her, huh?
That was good.
You could send it privately, too, or something, but anyway, yeah, so I'm loving this book just because I'm absorbing so much and recognizing where I'm in the gap a lot too. Just because been doing this longer doesn't mean I'm not getting in the gap. I get in there too. So, yeah. So the next chapter is the compound effect of the gap or the gain. And that's, I think we've talked about that. The Slight Edge is a great book also that talks about compound effect throughout the whole book. So this is what we're doing. You guys are showing up tonight. That's compound effect. You're in the game because you're here. Your cameras are on. When I'm feeling in the gap, I don't put my camera on. And meetings. How about you guys?
I'm the same. I mute myself and I stay off camera because then nobody can see me.
Yes, we hide. So let's recognize that, you guys, that asking ourselves, okay, even though I look like crap. I cleaned the outside today in Arizona. I have not showered, but I don't really want my picture here, but it's here. But asking ourselves, like, if I'm not showing up with my camera on, how will my team show up? Right? So remember that. If I'm not going live in my stories, how will my team go live? Measuring yourself against yourself, but modeling what you want. That's all we have to do. So, all right. I think that's it. It's late. Then I
What
thought,
was that online thing? You created a thing where we can go on live for like practice.
oh yeah, did I add you to it? It's called, what's it called? Practicing.
Because I stutter or start to mumble when certain people join, and it's probably like silly to you guys, but like some people who join in or have joined in on my lives, like I post on Snapchat a lot, like videos and stuff of what I'm doing and like what I'm drinking and how it's been helping me. And then I'll get like some negative feedback. Like just the other night, somebody was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry for you, poor sweet girl. You're in a Ponzi scheme." And it like they just wouldn't stop messaging me, and I
Block
couldn't
'em,
help but
just
to
block
giggle.
'em, just block 'em.
Because I just, so I didn't. I'm a debater, and I wanted to see where he was grasping that, and I ended up actually getting him on a water sheet tracker after the end of our
Well,
conversation.
hey, way to go. I may be being in the gap when I say block them, but I've just been doing it long enough where I'm just like, you have more patience than me, so.
No,
I'm
I just love a good debate. I knew I was going to win.
Um, so this practicing, I'm gonna invite Shannon, I'm gonna invite you to it. It's called
Yeah.
Facebook Live Practicing, and I put Marla in it just because it's our team.
Mhm.
But Bree, your name isn't coming up for some reason, but, oh, you already remembered, Bree, you're in there, that's why.
Oh, okay.
So I will tag you.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
It doesn't let me, share a link on this group. This is an old group, and older groups, they didn't have that option. So yeah, and I noticed, Kelly, maybe you know, Angie Ambrosetti has been zooming onto Facebook. She did in July. I wonder how she did that. Do you know?
Well, I will ask her. She's going to be one of my guests
Okay, good, good, good.
coming up, but she was supposed to get back to me today, but did not. So I'm hoping she can get on next Monday, but I'll ask her.
Yeah, because I noticed Brooke was doing it too. On their personal, going right live or zooming right onto the personal page. So there must be
What the heck?
a way they can do it. Yeah. So I want
Guess
to
I
start
didn't.
doing that again. And we
I
should just
know.
doing them on our personal pages, you guys.
Huh.
If the guests are okay, I think we should. Why not? We used to do it all the
Right.
time. The people in the groups are just,
Okay. So
all right. So any questions about the step challenge? That's going to be, it can be for anybody. They don't have to be on the products. It's just only 7 days. We start Thursday. So it's in Healthy Living. Just did it to get some activity in there because it was lull. Are you doing anything, Kelly, in your group?
I was thinking about, I've messaged Janelle. Her and I are trying to come up with a plan. Since I'm finishing my 6th year, I was going to do 6 days of education and giveaways.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. But I haven't finished everything yet and decided when.
Yeah, and September, September, I'm gonna be gone a lot, so I don't know, what do you guys want to do? I guess it's not you, Kelly and Shannon, but Lisa and Bree, what do you guys, if you have any guys that have any ideas on for healthy living, if you want to take a week, let me know, just message me what you're thinking people need,
Okay.
what your
Yeah,
customers
healthy
want.
living. A lot of people have been wanting to do the squatting challenge.
Oh, okay, on your team,
So I was gonna make like a little roster and see how many people I can get pre-signed up for that, and we can make that for September. So we can
yeah,
start signing people up now and
you
seeing how
have it,
many people want to jump in. Because there's this funny thing going on, whether you're a mom or an aunt or whatever, every time you hear the word mommy in your day or mom,
you got
you
a
have to drop
squat,
a squat.
love that, so do you have the
So
content for it too?
Um, yeah, there's a couple videos that I can post throughout that, to make sure that you have proper form. Um, and then if you're a beginner squatter, they do recommend that you have a chair. So you just go down, touch your bum to
Modifying.
the chair, and then stand back up. And
Okay,
so there's
we'll
something
have to,
for very, very,
okay, send me the dates that you think you're doing it. Or have you
yeah,
had?
I just thought it would be, I didn't really think that far. I just thought it'd
Oh,
be really
okay,
fun.
yeah. So we gotta plan, September here next week, so I'll probably just throw it in the chat, whoever wants to hop on a Zoom, and we'll get September planned.
Okay.
So, Okay, that's it, I think. And you guys have any wins to share?
No, but I know there's Bible study
I am
tomorrow.
doing oh, sorry, Bree, go ahead.
You're fine. No, that's all I had to say. I just know that if you're local in Crookston, Freedom Church has Bible study tomorrow at 6
Oh.
p.m.
I am doing a 15-minute messenger chat party for Sherry this
Mhm.
Thursday. And she's going to be doing one of her first posts on Facebook. So I'll share that with everybody. She just had back surgery though, so she doesn't do very good past supper time. That's why she's not on. So
Yeah.
if anybody has somebody that you want to get in to the chat, I'm not going to just put a bunch of people in there. I'll only put you in there if you have a guest.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if that's okay, but
Yeah.
I would love to put you all in there.
That's awesome. I have a Zoom tomorrow with my Larissa that came to Kelly's. She did a post and she had 51 likes, you guys. So I'm hoping she only has one
Wow.
or yes though on a Zoom.
That'd be great.
But anyway, yeah. And then Sherry Mack, my other new customer, lost 9.5 pounds in her 3-day reset, you guys.
Wow.
Holy Lanta.
And she doesn't want to post, but she said she'll post for me. So we're trying to put that together now.
That's insane.
That's great.
I couldn't believe it, how much she lost, but she got nauseous at 2 different days in a row after the noon soup. I think she was just detoxing, but she didn't throw up,
Mhm.
but she was happy that she lost. So she has a goal for October or was it this October or next? I gotta look back, but we have a goal every month now. So I'm just excited for her and hopefully she'll be on
That's
pretty
great.
soon on a call.
Well, yeah, look at Nancy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. That's
So,
great.
all right.
Shannon, we have a few people that need to hear her story, don't we? Gosh, dang it. Yeah.
Hear whose story?
Nancy's.
Oh, Nancy. Yeah. Whatever. I miss Nancy.
No, I'm
Oh.
talking about gal tonight.
Oh, tonight.
Evans.
I thought you meant- Okay, gotcha. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think it shows. Yeah. Some people don't like to restart something if they quit. This would just show that, hey, doesn't mean it didn't work. You didn't work with it. I think
Right.
that Nancy drinks active though. I thought she said that once.
I think she said that when we were at Kelly's that night,
Yeah.
that she had tried the active, but I don't know if she does it consistently.
Right. Maybe just.
To ask her. I'll ask her.
But maybe that stevia sensitivity will get better as she improves her gut too.
Exactly.
Want to try it like in a year or 6 months.
Yep, exactly.
All right. Well, anything else, ladies? No. So good to
Mhm.
see you all.
You guys too. Keep me in your prayers tomorrow.
You got it.
Will
I'm
do.
scared to go in.
Excited for you. I got my braces at 32 years old.
Ooh. I did not know that about you, Shannon.
I think I
Yeah.
was 22 maybe even. I can't remember.
Shoot. I had my braces my second time when all three